Coming up, we'll see the AFC North champion Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Buffalo Bills, AFC East champs for the first time in 25 years. It's the start of the 2021 season, and it's headed your way next.
They indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you look inside of Bills Stadium in Orchard Park. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, everyone, Brandon Gordon, so happy to be with you to kick off this much-anticipated 2021 season. With me in the booth as we begin our sixth season together is, of course, Charles Davis. And, CD, so much to watch for coming up. What are you keeping an eye on?
Well, Brandon, I'm ecstatic to be back with you, of course, and we've got a good one right here out of the gates. I'm interested in seeing some of the changes in 2021. Running backs and wideouts, even linebackers wearing single-digit numbers. But even more than that, I want to see the changes defenses have made because last year, we averaged 49.6 points per game. That's the highest ever by 3 full points. Can these defenses make an adjustment and start to catch up?
Yeah, passer rating, CD, an all-time high. Completion percentage, also an all-time high. So as you said, will those numbers continue to climb northward, or will the defenses adjust? And we are underway in Buffalo. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills for their first go on offense, led by their Pro Bowl quarterback. Now in his 4th season, it's Josh Allen.
It's got to feel great for the Bills franchise to know that they're set up for the future with number 17 at the helm. They don't have to worry about draft choices. They don't have to worry about free agency. They have their quarterback. And the passing attack as a team, second only to the Chiefs in 2020. And how about Josh Allen? Guided the Bills to their first playoff win since 1995 last season. And his completion percentage in the last 3 years has gone from roughly 53% to 69% last season.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
On 2nd and 9, Allen, the throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Allen to throw it. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way you wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, on is the former Dolphin Matt Hawk to punt for Buffalo. Ray McLeod deep for Pittsburgh. And taken right at the 35. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They'll be quarterbacked, of course, by a 2-time Super Bowl champion in his 18th NFL season. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And it's not out of the question, it's not out of the realm at all to wonder if this might be the final season for Big Ben, either in a Steeler uniform or in the NFL period. He re-signed back in March saying, "It's my greatest honor to be a Pittsburgh Steeler and give my all for the organization." Had a big year in 2020, 33 touchdowns, just 10 interceptions, and led the Steelers to an 11-0 start. You have to think that he would love to end his career the way Peyton Manning and John Elway did, hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and heading off into the sunset. Second and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
It's a jet sweep. Here comes Claypool with it. Jordan Poyer, the league's leading tackler among safeties last year, in to make the stop.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On third down, Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! Oh yeah, boy. Pat Freiermuth. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Steelers are on the board here first in the season opener. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You say, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the new season. Not an ideal beginning as they start drive number 2, 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Allen. And that'll be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
And the Watt family certainly knows how to get to the quarterback. His brother J.J., He led the NFL in that category twice in 2012 and 2015. And now TJ enters the record books. Led the league in sacks with 15 in 2020, but he plays so hard, he's always around the quarterback. 61 pressures last year, 16 more than the second-place finisher.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught here by Bell. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brought down at the 35-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6. That's the end of the first quarter.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster.
In his 5th year in Pittsburgh, a good bounce back last year for Juju with 97 catches. He wants to continue to make grabs like that and get upfield.
Here we go. Black 20. Take both of them. 36. You got tight. You got tight right there. Easy, Stu.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Roethlisberger. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Charles, I'll look there at the Steelers draft class for 2021. They bucked the trend and said, we need an impact player in our backfield, and thus the selection of Najee Harris at 24. Do you like that selection or no?
I absolutely love that selection as one that I kind of advocated throughout the draft process. Many people screaming, get offensive linemen. But to get a back like Harris at that spot, get him and then come back and get the offensive lineman later. Remember, they ended up taking Pat Freiermuth, the tight end, in the 2nd round. But they did take some linemen later. Kendrick Green in the 3rd. And then in the 4th, they took Dan Moore, the big offensive tackle out of Texas A&M.
Roethlisberger will throw. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Buffalo set to get the football back here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
56, 56.
Singletary to get the drive started. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Here's McLeod on the return. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Roethlisberger's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and
fighting through, and he's got space. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I like this young guy out of Ole Miss in his 3rd year with Buffalo. Prototypical size for a tight end, 6'4", 254. I thought 2020 would be a big year for him. I do think it will happen in 2021.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. To the air, Allen. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. And again, it's Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting...
Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. This is caught. It's Brown. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Oh, Brown, a nice catch. And he's going to have the 1st down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Steelers. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in Week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Ray McCloud to return. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. He'll give this to Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Steelers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Well, for Ben Roethlisberger, he had the elbow reconstruction back in 2019, but he does not appear to have lost much at all, as that was a rocket.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 21-0.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back now comes the offense. Madden spotlight time as we shine it on Josh Allen. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Allen finding Knox there, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They'll run on first down with Singletary, and he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Allen. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen, nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. T.J. Watt getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Tyler Bass out for the Bills' field goal. This one from 48 yards away. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Roethlisberger. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Bell sheds him off, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Bell. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Bell. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. He'll get it up the middle. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. Boswell's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Let's go.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. And meanwhile, Allen's throw going to be caught by McKenzie. That catch good for only a couple. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football.
That's how we do it.
2nd time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
One final try here for Allen. And he comes back with one complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about your...
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Here's Allen to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. Now Allen, got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
230. 50.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Bell, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Bell. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Steelers, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they will get another road test next week as they head to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.